Well, I'm Kenny Lowry, and welcome to BoulderFountain.com. Today we're going to take a look at and talk a little bit about the coloring of the boulders. And remember, these are GFRC boulders, glass fiber reinforced concrete. We take a real rock and make a mold, and then we use a multi-step proprietary process to do the color. It is an acid-based color, and I'll get up close with this and we'll talk a little bit about that color. The color is going to vary between some gray into various colors of brown, all the way from light brown to dark walnut brown. And then for people in Utah, Sedona, Arizona, places like that where you have the red, we do have like a color that kind of matches that too, which we won't see here today. We only usually do that color when we get an order from those areas. But this is a general, what the boulder is generally going to look like, unless you're requesting some other kind of color. But this is kind of a general overview, and you'll see some variation here as we walk out through here. So I'll grab the camera now. We'll get up close so you can see how that color varies. It's a rather windy fall day out here, so if you hear wind on the microphone, I apologize ahead of time. So here you can see this one has gray and brown. And remember, as these age, once they start running for a long time, they will kind of adapt their own color. Like some of these have been on display here for years. I know this one's been on display for probably 15 years. So you can kind of get a sense of it wet there. You see where it's dry, it's a different color. Where it gets wet, it gets darker. So keep that in mind. Once you turn the water on it, it's going to be a darker color. So as we go around this one's been on display for a long time. So you can kind of get a sense of what it looks like. It gets its own aging process, just like any rock would be out in the woods. So as we go up through here, you can see these colors here. Apologize for the sun. It is kind of in the fall here, so we're casting shadows. So you can see on this one here, there's like a light brown, a dark brown, and there's gray mixed in that. So you can kind of see as you go down through there, you'll see those different colors. We try to mimic what a real rock's going to look like. This one has a lot of gray, a lot of dark tones. There is some lighter browns there. And remember, these are going to vary through each individual boulder. That one's gray. We got some rusty color right there. And you can see, now that acid is a chemical reaction with the mineral content of the GFRC. So that's why you're getting a multitude of colors. We can control it to a certain degree, but it does react differently on each individual boulder. But overall, this is what they're going to look like. And we'll go to this one here. You can kind of see this one's it's a big one. And this is wet right there. I just blew the water out. See how much darker it is where it was wet? Got some rust tones in there. And we're going to go over here to one that's running, but hopefully you get a sense of what it's going to look like. So there's one over here, a boulder running, that has dry and wet areas. So you can see how dark that is where it's wet, and then over here where it's dry. And this one's been on display, I don't know, probably 3 years, sitting right out here under the woods. So it's got walnuts and everything else dropping on it. So it is aging out just like a real rock would. And this one out here is actually not a fountain. This is part of our, what we call boulder toss, kind of our take on cornhole. This has been displayed out here probably about 3 years. And this never gets wet other than when it rains on it. So you can kind of see how that looks after all these years. And I'll go up here to the other one as well. And you can kind of see this one here. It looks different than the other one. What you don't want them to look uniform. You want them to look different. And this one up here has been on display for, I don't know, many years. So this one's been display running for many, many years. And you can see it's wet right now, so it is darker in color, but you'll see variations even when it's wet. I hope you can pick that up there. So I hope that this helps you to understand what the colors are going to be like. I know we get a lot of questions about it, and I just wanted to take this opportunity to kind of show you what that kind of a base color is going to look like. Now, if you have requests for different colors, we'll do the best we can. There is an upcharge for that, but you can send us photos and things like that, and we'll get as close as we can. As always, if you have any questions about our products, you can reach us at our toll-free number there on the website, or you can our contact email there is there as well.